Good morning, everyone. Andy Schwab here with your Farm and Ranch News. Along with the Montana Stock Growers Association, the Wyoming Stock Growers Association took the trip to D.C. for the NCBA Legislative Conference last week. WSGA Executive Director Jim Magagna told me their organization shared the concerns to BLM Director Tracy Stone Manning on the proposed rule that intends to put conservation on equal footing with other uses.
After hearing her formal presentation to the Public Lands Council, in some ways it was even more disturbing because she very openly acknowledged that this had been developed totally in-house with agency personnel without any attempt to receive any external input from our industry or for any of the counties or local governments or anything.
Magagna mentioned that this is their top concern and will be a topic of discussion at this year's conference in Riverton in early June. Well, grizzly bear management continues to move in the right direction for folks that are plagued by depredation from the Bruins. As you may have heard, U.S. Representative Matt Rosendale's legislation to delist grizzlies in the Northern Continental Divide ecosystem passed the House Committee on Natural Resources last week. That was helped along from a powerful testimony from Shoto rancher Carly Johnson a month ago. Other legislation from Wyoming Representative Harriet Hageman also aims to delist the greater Yellowstone ecosystem population of the grizzly bears, and it too passed out of committee last week with the fact that the recovered numbers was reiterated. Well, we need to take a break, but we'll be back in a little bit with a look at your ag markets.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought, there always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, but it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Welcome back, friends, your ag news and the markets. The USDA's Agricultural Marketing Service will be hosting a series of cattle industry listening sessions in the coming months to gather stakeholder feedback on the Cattle Contracts Library pilot program. During their sessions, AMS will provide an overview of the current pilot, and then participants will be able to give an opportunity to share their feedback. In addition, AMS will accept written comments about the Cattle Contracts Library pilot through September 30th of this year. Of course, the library aims to provide transparency in both commonalities and key differences in the contracts, as well as the context for those terms through the provisions of the relevant volume numbers. Well, feedlots did their best to play hardball last week as packers stood their ground on procuring cattle for lower prices. Unfortunately, the price at the farm gate was not what feedlots were hoping for, as the bids were and the weekly trend did lower. And Billings Livestock was busy last Thursday with nearly 5,000 head running through the ring. Ty Thompson with BLS said they had several big strings of cattle that showed well, and greener grass type cattle continue to be in high demand. Sheep sales also remained a little more quiet in Newell. The highest head counts did come from the coal ewes, who slipped lower by a nickel. Well, the wheat complex was able to gather back some of the big losses they felt last week as they closed the final Friday session of April, that is, on a higher note. Spring rightfully so earned the biggest gains to end the week as well. Well, that's all for our ag news and markets. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.